Good morning. Welcome, welcome to Marriage Moments. I'm Dr. Vicki Waters.
Dr. Ray Waters, how are you? How are you today? To all the mothers out there, soon to be mothers, and all happy Mother's Day to all of you. And we do appreciate all the moms out there, those who are natural moms, those who are spiritual moms, and those who are a combination of both,
Mm-hmm.
natural and spiritual mothers. And so we thank God for all of you and all the things that you do, that you're continuing to do, and things that you're yet to do. How you're influencing the lives of so many people. So we thank God for all the moms out there today, and we just look forward to just a beautiful day today, and thank God for the opportunity to come before you today. I'd like to
Yes.
wish my sister a special happy Mother's Day.
And your
And
niece.
my niece, yeah, my niece. Yes, indeed. Thank God for them. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. So anyway,
Oops.
also would like to say this. I didn't get a chance to do this yesterday. I wasn't feeling very well, but just want to thank all of you who wished me a happy birthday on Friday,
Yes.
and thank you so
Turned
much.
35.
Yeah, turned
Yes.
35. Thank you all for your birthday wishes. Do greatly appreciate it. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to do anything yesterday. Like I said, just wasn't feeling well. So once again, I wanted to take this platform, this opportunity to thank all of you for the Facebook comments and all, and especially my lovely wife and her taking me out to 7-Eleven.
Gotta get that Slurpee.
With the Slurpee and the Big Bite. So, you know,
Don't forget the chips.
yeah, and the chips too,
Morning,
Slurpee.
Jojo. Happy Mother's
Yeah, happy Mother's
Day.
Day. Yeah, so,
Yeah, Cookie said, you know you went to 7-Eleven.
yeah, Sam Lim.
Got
So,
the big bite,
yeah, Big Bite,
big
Slurpee.
gulp, big chips,
Yep.
and a Slurpee for dessert.
But the real thing, the real deal now is BK. BK's got it BK's got it going. Yeah, I know my favorite wife. That's right. That's right, Leon. BK got it going on now. You buy one and get the other one for $1. So man.
Wow, the way you talk, people really think that I took you to Burger King. Everybody we know, you went to Longhorn and had that half-dead steak.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There is no other way to really eat a steak besides medium rare.
Oh,
Yeah. So
right, my stomach feeling kind of queasy right now. I haven't had any breakfast. I'm gonna need to stop doing that.
yes, indeed. Yeah, like, it's just like you really don't have to chew it.
Okay, can we change the subject, please? I beg you, let's change this.
All right. Okay. All right. So we'll go go somewhere
Yes,
else. Yeah.
yes. But anyway, yeah, that's steak. But anyway, you want to go somewhere else? You me take it over? What do you want to do?
No, you can go. Yeah, you can take it over now, I guess.
Anyway, like I said, we definitely want to wish all the mothers a happy Mother's Day. And Jojo, I just celebrate with you and Cookie, with your mom. And I think your mom is, how old is Ruth? Do you remember? 80. How old is your mom, Jojo? 83? I forget. But anyway, just an incredible woman. So be sure and tell her I said happy Mother's Day when you see her today. But what we want to talk about today is we want to talk about mothers. And I was just telling Ray probably about 2 months ago, I had an opportunity to teach in a women's group, and we talked about going from, oh,
Oh, oh,
wow,
okay.
oh my gosh, almost.
All right.
That is
Wow.
absolutely.
That's incredible.
So she'll be 88 on July 5th, right?
Yeah.
I think she'll be 88 on July 5th. Because my mom's birthday is July 4th, Ruth's isn't. So Ruth will be 88 on July 5th. That is incredible.
Wow. That is incredible.
88, double new beginnings. The number 8 is for new beginnings. But I taught a couple of months ago on the message of going from misery to praise. And I talked about these two women. And so what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit of today about Hannah. And then we're going to talk about the husband's role in being sure that his wife is treated all year long, right, the way of mother, but honoring her not just on Mother's Day, all year long. But Ray has a real good insight into that, and that's what has been expected. Things have been set down for our kids when it comes to how they respond to me, how they deal with me, not just on Mother's Day, but all throughout the year. But for those of you who are believers, I'm sure you know, you've heard of the story of Hannah. It's a powerful story in the Bible, and I'll just give you a little bit of a background. So Hannah was married to Elkanah, I think his name was. And back during this time, like in the biblical days, they had multiple wives. Good morning, Latoya. And they had multiple wives. And so Hannah, her womb was closed. She was barren. She could not have any kids. But Elkanah's other wife, Peninnah, or that's, I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name or what, she was evidently popping out babies left and right, because the scripture says that she had sons and daughters. So you figure that she had to have at least 4, if not more than that, to give you the plural, right? Sons and daughters. And because Hannah, and back during that time, being barren was frowned upon, looked down on, not being able to have children. And his other wife would basically just stress her out. She would just ridicule her. She would just persecute her. And so you imagine being in a relationship where you're married to a man. I'm gonna keep stressing this, back in biblical times. We're not talking about now. Back in biblical times, right? And so you can't have children. And then here's this woman who's having all these children. You want children, but you cannot have them, right? And she's being ridiculed. And it said every year they would go up to the temple to worship. And every year this woman would literally persecute her to the point where she would grieve so much that she could not eat. And then the part we want to talk about is her husband did not understand. And he basically said, am I not better to you than 10 sons? But he didn't understand that woman and her desire to be a mother. And I don't think it had so much to do, it had something to do with how she was being persecuted by the other wife, but it's just a desire. Now, I'm not going to say, because you can't put all women in a box. Not all women want to be mothers, but a lot of women do. And so when you're able to have children, it is such a blessing. When you're not able to have children and you want to be a mother, it's a hurtful thing. It bothers you to the core, because you want, and I know some people that have been trying for years to want to have children. We're still praying and believing with them. But what we want to talk about today is that, so let's back up. So for those of you and everybody that I've seen get on so far, all of you ladies, I know you have children, every mother that's logged on so far, and good morning to all the mothers. And so for those of you jumping, I kind of recapped a little bit of the story of Hannah and what she went through, and how her husband, basically, they said he loved her, but they said, I forgot that part. They said that he loved Hannah. It says specifically about that he loved her. And when he gave her a double portion of what he gave basically to everybody else, right? So he loved her, but he just didn't understand why she was so downcast and everything. And he said to her, am I not better to you than 10 sons? And so he didn't understand that what she wanted was a child. And so I think about when Ray and I got married, and I knew we both wanted to have children. And I go back now and I think about it. For those of you that are joining too, just think about it, that have children, how blessed it was, first of all, that you were able to conceive, right? And then be able to carry that child, whether it's full term, which full term I believe is somewhere in the neighborhood of 37 to 39 weeks. I'm not 100% sure. But to carry that child full term, right? To feel that child growing on the inside of you. And I think about, for me, when I got pregnant with our first child, when I got pregnant with RJ, he was a big baby. He was 9, 10 and a half, I believe. And I had to have a C-section with him. Thank God for C-sections, right? So I had to have a C-section with him. And I remember holding him, and he had some problems when he was first born. And they had to, he was in the intensive care unit for a little bit of time. They thought they were going to have to do a spinal tap on him. But he was so strong. And I mean, they were like, we can't. they'd have to actually had to put him under in order, so they just couldn't. So we prayed, believed God, our church prayed, we believed God. He ended up didn't have to have the spinal tap. And I just remember so having him and then watching him grow up and just, from that age, and y'all know what I'm talking about, moms. I know y'all can identify with me. You watch them grow up, right? And then we had Allison, and the same thing. RJ was so they set the date for him, but I actually went into labor and had him. Allison, they scheduled the date, and she was a big baby as well. And so, moms, you know what I'm talking about. You go through all of these things. You gain weight. My shoe size changed. My nose sprayed from here all the way over here. Some moms get that dark around. Our bodies go through all of these changes to produce this life, right? And so we get the honor and privilege to do that. And so in our case, God allowed us to do it twice, where we have a boy and a girl, and to watch them grow up. And it's such a blessing to be a mom, but also it takes that husband supporting you through it during that time. So it's not just the, having that sperm fertilize the egg and like, yep, I've done my job. Yes, I did the deed. We'll move on from here. But the husbands are so important during that time of helping the moms and helping the children to understand and appreciate the mom, because we do a lot. Somebody had posted a picture in Facebook and it showed the kids, and mom, we hired people to basically fill in for everything that you do. It was like 10 different people that they basically hired. They hired a chef, a chauffeur, a referee, a nurse, a teacher. Oh my gosh, it was like 10 different things. What all these things that moms do. And so for all of you that are watching and that will be watching later, applaud yourself for doing what you have done thus far to bringing those kids to fruition. And I think just about everybody that's logged on so far, except with the exception of Latoria, so far, your kids are adults. And looking at it and how God has blessed you to be in a position to take them from conception through everything, like I said, gaining the weight, those strange cravings, all of those things your bodies go through to get to that point where you are today. So we absolutely, if nobody else tells you, we're going to tell you today, and we celebrate you and the great job that you have done in being a mom.
Mm-hmm. Now, as far as what men's part is concerned, is always it's always a term of a time of respect for moms. And once again, this is a special day that we acknowledge all the things that they do. But one of the things I'm learning to do is throughout the entire year is to make sure that she's acknowledged and appreciated, not just on Mother's Day, and I make sure that Vicky feels as though that I love and respect her. And one of the things that I've done and I continue to do today, even though our children are adults, you still have to show respect towards your mom, and I make sure that is done. One of the things, and I say this, I haven't always been the best of fathers. I have not always been the best husband. But I make sure that whenever there is a time that I feel as though that they are disrespecting her, I will correct them even today, and they're in their 30s. And I'm not going to allow that to happen. Didn't allow it to happen when they were kids or teenagers, and I'm not going to allow it to happen even though they're adults, because this is their mom. And some of the things that Vicky had just described, as far as the things that moms do on a regular basis, bringing up children, and so the sacrifices that are necessary to be a good mom. Those are the things that need to be done. The sacrificing of your time, your energy. So that's one of the things that I make sure that both of them, even though, like I said, they're in their 30s, that they're going to respect their mom. And I don't allow our grandchildren to get away with it either. I feel as though that they're getting a little, as they're getting a little edgy. Yeah, they're gonna know about it because this is their grandmother. This is their father's mother, and so they need to respect her also. And so once again, these are the things that we need to do as men, is to make sure that our wives are respected by their children and by their grandchildren, and not to be talked to any kind of way, and not to be disrespected. So that's one of the things that the scripture talks about, that folly is within the heart of children, and this is the truth. But discipline gets it out. It doesn't mean that you have to get a strap out and start wailing on their rear ends. No, but when you correct them, that is part of discipline. And so that's one of the things, and that's part of love also. That's you show not only the person that that that's being disrespected, but also the person that's doing the disrespecting. That is a part of love. Discipline is a part of love, and if you don't discipline children, then it's not that you it's saying that you don't love them. Once again, it's not about taking the strap out every time or smacking them on their rear ends every time that they do something wrong. But there are those times that you can correct bad behavior and help them not to continue that type of bad behavior. Because one of the things that you find out with children, with human nature in general, that you don't have to teach a child how to lie. You don't have to teach a child how to be deceptive. You don't have to teach human beings how to do that kind of stuff. But you do have to teach us how to be respectful. So those type of things absolutely have to happen. So like I said, because all of us came into this world selfish and self-centered. But it's just over a matter of time that we've actually learned how to be considerate of others, and it takes a lifetime. You don't nail it. It's because all of us at some point in time will get selfish. But once again, as far as moms are concerned, we thank you for, once again, all the sacrificing that you've done and what you continue to do. And I have to make sure that Vicky is respected throughout the year. Like I said, the first person that needs to make sure that she's not talked to in any kind of way is me. I'm the first person that makes sure that my kids, our grandchildren, do not see me talk to her any kind of way, because if they see me talk to her any kind of way, they'll think that they can talk to her the same type of way also.
That is so good. I'm glad you shared that.
Yeah, so I've got to be the first fruits of that. I've got to be the person that makes sure that I talk to her right and treat her right and everything. Because if they see that type of behavior in me, then they'll recognize that I need to make sure that I talk to Mimi, talk to her right and everything. So I've got to be the first one to do this. So make sure that her kids and her grandchildren see that I talk to her in the right type of tone and attitude. That's what I was saying earlier. I haven't always been perfect. Like I said, there's been those times, and y'all heard me talk about it before, that on our way to church, we in an argument on our way to church, and we got two young kids, impressionable kids in the back seat going to church, and we on our way to church arguing and raising our voices and everything. So that's what I said. I haven't always been the best that I possibly could be.
Yeah, this is true. I ain't gonna argue with you on that. I won't gonna argue with you, but tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Shame the devil. Huh? Yeah. Okay.
But I also think about, as you were saying, and I appreciate that. And like I said, just to encourage the moms today, because we do go through a lot, and you deal with a lot. You have your, you're sacrificing in the things that you do. And so I just want to encourage you today, especially those of us who our kids are grown, that we have adult children, is, to keep those lines of communication open. And one of the ladies at our church, she said something. She asked her how her daughter was doing, and she said she's doing good. She said, I'm concerned, but I'm not worried. And what she basically means is she realizes that her child has gotten to a certain age, and then she has to trust God in her. You're always going to be concerned about your child. You concern, basically, you care for them. You want to be sure that they're healthy and they're happy and all of these things too. But I also encourage those of us that our children are grown, that now, especially if they're not in the house, now is a perfect opportunity. And hopefully you've been doing this all along, to look out for you, to be able to enjoy your life. And, thank God for the honor of being a mom. And we continue to pray for her, because you never stop praying for them from the time you conceive to all the way through. You never ever stop praying for your children. You never ever stop loving them. But when you look in that marriage relationship, I really believe that the husband definitely absolutely plays a key role in being sure that that the mom is looked out for, taken care of. Ray has always been sure. Ray, and this is one thing our bishop said in our church years ago, and somebody put this on Facebook too. That was interesting. Should the husband give the wife Mother's Day gifts? Heck yes. Yes. 100 gazillion%. And I know you ladies, give me some thumbs up, ladies. I know you agree. The husband should be giving his wife Mother's Day gifts. And I remember when our kids were growing up, whether they made me something or whether he would buy cards. And yeah, I knew I would get some numbers. Yeah, he gave me cards, and he would either take their hand and kind of like use the pen to help them make the little letters. RJ always just had two initials, so it was R and J. But Allison, and I think of some of the things that I've got, some cards and stuff that they've made over the years. And and I think about that. And our bishop said this years ago, and he got on those men. He said, and men, yes, you better be sure that you give your wife something for Mother's Day. And I don't care if she ain't your mother, she's a mother of your children. And he was very strong about that you're supposed to give her something for, this is art, and it ain't in the Bible, okay? So it's not a scripture, but we're just saying, just like that Ray said about that respect, it goes both ways. Being sure that they honor their mother, not only throughout the year, but also, pick up the phone, calling her. Now there's no excuse. You can call, you can text, you can FaceTime, you can do all of these things, but to be sure that she is looked out for, gifts. And, Ray gives me gifts every year. I'm going to read y'all this card he gave me this morning. He loves cards. And so he gave me a card, and I'm like, well, did you read it, or did you just go, there's a good one. It says Happy Mother's Day. But he actually puts thought into my Mother's Day cards. And I'm going to read you this one that he gave me today. And so he gave me that, and then he asked me, we've been married long enough now that he's like, you know what, I'm just going to ask her what she wants. Now, some people may say, well, you should know. You know what, I'm so tired of hearing that, because again, maybe, yes, maybe no, but okay, either you cannot say what you want and get something that you absolutely hate or don't want, or say, okay, here's some ideas, here's some suggestions, and then you'll get what you want, and then you won't be having attitude. They'll be happy. Because we do that. Come on, you somebody, you're like, oh, all right, let me back up. So years ago, Ray had gone shopping for me. I think I may have told the story before. And he bought me this dress, and I was a lot bigger than I am right now. And he bought a dress. I'll never forget. It was a nice lime green dress, and it had black. It had a little matching jacket, but the stripes were horizontal. And y'all know, for us fuller figure women, horizontal stripes are our enemy. They're not our friend. And so I put it on, and it was this clingy material, and I kid y'all not, I looked like the Michelin Man. Remember the Michelin Man? They had the little, with the tires? That's exactly how I looked. And so what I ended up doing, and then he had bought me something else, and then I thought, instead of me having this man going all over creation trying to find what would I took him shopping one day, and I showed him, I said, I like this, I like that. This is a type of thing. For my body type, this is what works best for me. And Ever since that day, he been rocking and rolling. I'm telling you, that has been how many years?
I don't know.
At least 20 plus years. It's been a long time. And the thing of it is, the things that he buy, and some things he's bought me that I would have never have bought for myself. But when I put it on, it looks great. So I believe that God also gives him grace, and I believe he maybe even get a little nudge like this would be nice. This is what you do, ladies. Instead of complaining or like he never gets me anything, I like, well, tell him what you like. Take him, show him, explain to him. He may look at you. Yep, exactly. He may look at you, and because men, a lot of times our husbands see our bodies way differently than we do. We see our bodies as like, oh, I've got this roll, I've got this layer, I've got this or that, and they love us. They just see us as sexy, and they would think like you look good to me, and Ray probably thought I looked good in it. But women are usually more sensitive about how they look than their husbands are. They love us. I mean, they just love handle. Ray said. Almost said something, but anyway, y'all probably get the gist. We're adults here. I was really heavy that time. He says, "There's more cushion for the pushing." That's what you remember you said that. Do you remember saying that?
No, I don't, but
Okay.
that's okay.
Maybe it was my other husband. I don't know. Like you said, the other wife. But anyway, again, they look at our bodies differently, and so. And then, so ever since then, he's been buying me like really nice things, and he thinks. So this particular time, he was like, "What do you want for Mother's Day?" And he asked me. He didn't ask me yesterday what I want. He asked me weeks ago, "What do you want for Mother's Day?" And I said, "You know what I want is I just want some summer pajamas, like some cute little summer pajamas. Something lightweight, da 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 da." And I said, "You know how much I love Cato's." And so this morning, I opened up my Mother's Day gift, and I've got these cute little pajamas. That's all I wanted, and a Cato's gift card. And again, he's happy because he know he's giving me something I like. I'm happy because I got something that I like. And then I want to read y'all this card. I just thought it was really sweet. It says, "My wonderful wife, our love is a journey. Falling in love with you made me happy. Staying in love with you makes me grateful. Growing in love with you makes life better. Being in love with you makes every day worth celebrating. Happy Mother's Day. Love, Ray Sr." And so he takes thought into giving me these cards that expresses to him, even though it's a Mother's Day card, it's about us. Do you get what I'm saying? And I appreciate that because he could have gotten one that said something about the children or whatever, but he chose to get me this. And I appreciate that. And I just think it's so... For all the men that are watching or that will be watching, this is not a condemning thing, but just to encourage you is to be sure that you look out for the mother of your children, and also be sure that your children look out for them. Because like we said, the things that we go through and deal with, a mother's heart is not more important than a father's heart. It's just different. It's just different on the way we see things and our perspective on things. I never forget one time, this was years ago, I forget how old RJ was, and Ray had found some rap music in his car, and Ray was not happy with it, and I think they had a little disagreement or whatever, and it was right before Mother's Day, and I never forget, and I'm like, it's Mother's Day tomorrow, we gotta celebrate Mother. I could have cared less about the music at that time. I just knew it was Mother's Day, and I wanted us to be able to celebrate it, because that's that mother's heart. Like, we carry these children, right, moms? We carry these children, and then we get the opportunity to hold them and to see them and to look at them, and we count their fingers and we count their toes and we do all that stuff, and we watch them grow up. We watch them take their first steps. We watch them when they say mommy and all of these things, and then when they go through lives and go through their life, and sometimes they may not make the best choices, so your heart grieves when your child is hurting, when they're not happy. You just want them to be happy. When they call you or text you or come visit you, or they spend time with you, or when you go out to eat together, or when you go through all of their things in life, graduating from kindergarten to elementary school and high school and college and all of those things, going to their first this or that, seeing that first tooth, all of those things are things that you ponder and you hide in your heart. And I think about, for me, going to all of RJ's football games and being that proud mom and those things, and seeing all of their accomplishments and everything that they've done. And you look and I see him now being married and having a wife, and we absolutely adore our daughter-in-law, and seeing the children, and you just look at them and as they grow up. And that's what makes this day even more special, is you get to sit back and celebrate, and first and foremost to say, and if you haven't done this today, moms, I encourage you to do that. God, thank you for giving me the honor of being a mother. Because not just because not every woman has been afforded that honor, but just simply, even if every woman has been afforded that honor, I still thank you for giving me the honor. And do our moms perfect? No. Do we make mistakes? Yes. Are we overly emotional sometimes? Yes. Do we get our feelings hurt? Yes. All of those things. Are we sometimes over analytical? Yes. Are we sometimes butting in when we shouldn't? Yes. All of those different things. We get our feelings hurt easily? Yes, we absolutely do. But that's part of being a mom. And so that's one of those things you just give before God, and God, just help me. And for those of you that have younger ones, you'll never stop mothering, no matter how old they get. It's just, it changes on how you do it. Yep, you're right, Gail. So Proverbs 31, we are priceless, far above rubies. Rubies, mothers are valuable. Yep, that's why your children call you blessed. And like I said, but I know for a lot of moms, you look back over your life and you think about some of the mistakes that you may have made. And one of the things I want to encourage you, you know what? Get it under the blood. Repent, ask God to forgive you, but don't hold on to it. And for those moms that, because we never know who's watching, that may be estranged from your children, that maybe there may be a rift or something, you never know, what's going on. I know last year was hard for a lot because of with COVID, and at least things have opened up now more, and you're able to get out more and see people and do things like that, and spend time with your children and your grandchildren. And but take care of you. Definitely take care of you, and realize you're worth all of that love, and don't allow the enemy to beat you down over those mistakes, especially those with your first child. You don't know. People can tell you about being a mother and what's that like, but until you experience it for yourself, you don't know. I still think, and Ray has shared this story before, but I'll share it. I think about that the time when I was outdoors on the swing. We were living in the apartment.
Oh, yeah.
And I was on the swing, and I was swinging, and RJ was out there. He was, how old was he?
I think he was 2.
He was 2, and he was outdoors riding his little big wheel. He's just riding, and when you're going, and I was just swinging, and you're getting higher and higher, and the timing was uncanny. As I was coming down, is right when he was riding right past. He was riding right past me, and literally I hit him full force, knocked him and both of the big wheel over. I jumped out of the swing, grabbed him up, ran in the house, screaming, crying to Ray, "Oh my God!" Ray said I did it intentionally. Ray said I was like, I'm gonna get you. And the thought that I brought pain to my child. I mean, I scooped him up and went screaming into our apartment because I thought I had hurt him in some way. He ended up being fine. It just scared him. It scared me both. He was fine. But I mean, I think about those moments. I remember when we found out that he was asthmatic. We didn't know. And we had taken him. My mom was watching him. And he was 2 at that time as well, right? Mm-hmm. 2 years old. My mom was watching him, and she called me. She said, he doesn't sound right. Something doesn't sound right with him, the way he's talking. And I never forget, and we laugh. Well, look, it's terrible. We laugh about it today. We had a good laugh about this a few weeks ago. And we took him to the doctor, and I noticed the way he was talking to me. He was actually having an asthma attack. We didn't know it, and so we took him to the doctor. And they sat us down, and they looked at us like we were the worst parents in the world, made us watch this video, put us in this room. They took him back, was checking on him. Y'all go in this room and watch this video. And so we watched the video on asthma. And we watched it, and so we got him a nebulizer and all of that stuff and things like that. But again, this was one of those moments where like, oh my God, I should have known. There were no signs at all to start with. We didn't know. But I'm saying for those moms that be looking at maybe some decisions that you made or some things that didn't go right, give yourself a break. If you did something wrong, repent, ask God to forgive you. If you need to talk to your child, ask God for grace if you need to do it, whatever the case may be. But again, at the end of the day, we just want you to enjoy this day, and enjoy it not just this day, but every day that God allows you to be alive. And for those of you that may be watching that are believing God, to be a mom and you're still not that point, we pray with you, we pray for you that that will happen for you. But for those of you that don't have any children of your own, or you're not planning on having any, but you've been that auntie that's been there for that, or you've been that one that has treated you, those, a lot of you may be watching, maybe spiritual moms, you have a lot of women in your church that look up to you. Celebrate that in whatever you do. But we don't want this just to be, the criteria for being a mom doesn't mean that you had to push that baby out, or that baby had to come out of your body. There's so many women that do so many motherly things, and you deserve that honor as well.
That's good. What time? How much time we have?
We're good. Time to.
Okay. All right. So anyway,
No, I mean time like we're at 8:30, but you want to go ahead and say something?
yeah,
before we
no,
close?
we're pretty much good. We're
Okay.
good. So anyway, just wanted to thank you once again for joining us and for honoring the moms out there. Like I said, the natural moms, just like Vicky was saying, the spiritual moms that are out there also, those who help birth things in the spirit. So we do thank God for them. Those who have both in the natural birth children and those who birth things in the spirit also. So thank God for all of you. Really
Yes.
do appreciate you. And hope that you guys have an awesome day today.
Yes. Let them spoil
Latoya,
you.
thank you. Yeah, Tony, appreciate you joining us this morning. Thank you so much. Maurice, thank you for joining us. There's so many of you who are faithful to watch live with us. Thank you for
And for
joining
sharing
us.
the video,
and
too.
sharing the video also.
We definitely
Yeah,
appreciate it.
thank you so much, and hope that all the moms out there enjoy your day today, and we'll holler at you next week.
Yes.
And we're just keeping it 100. All right, love you too, Shamika. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And thank you for
all right.
continuing to share the video. We'll
Yeah.
see you next week.
See you next week.